Hello there, Star Wars players. Welcome to Saucy Streams for the 2020 World's Top 8. Coming to you live, we will be bringing you Jared Napolitano and Chris Kelly's game. And we've got HITCO versus AOBS. Surprise, surprise, Chris Kelly's playing HITCO. And surprise, surprise, Jared's playing AOBS. I did one of his games during the Heat days, and it was AOBS versus WAP. So we are underway. They're setting up right now, and yeah, let's have some fun today and crown ourselves another world champion of Star Wars cards. Alright, so Jared's going to do Quietly Observing, and Arica and Miss Rondo are going to be the two characters with Quietly Observing. Jared pulls Grabber. Chris Kelly's got all the foil cards, so hopefully that doesn't bother you on stream. Matching Grabber from Chris. I feel like we got started pretty much on time today. The streamers were still sort of getting set up when pairings were announced, so hopefully we were able to catch up to all this action. But also, if anybody anybody watching out there wants to join the stream with me, that is definitely possible. So if you feel like doing some commentary this morning for this match, just hit me up on Slack or Discord or whatever, and I'll get you added. Also, if I'm talking a little bit quieter than normal, it's because my wife is still sleeping. So I do apologize for that, but we will make it work. Alright, so here comes the Imperial Square for one force from Jared. And we'll see if we can get the Vigo. Yep, Vigo V comes out. So hopefully also the Shizor Palace site will come out for Jared. Goes with the Fanfare Shield. Fanfare Shield will usually be pulled right away with or Shizor's Bounty will be pulled right away with the Fanfare Shield, better said. Thanks, Ryan. I'm like that dude at the British Open. Shizor's Palace comes out, shoved over to the left side there. And we'll see if he wants to move over. Yeah, he sure does. Gets the flip. So yeah, pretty good turn for AOBS. He got his 2-0 Palace site and the Shizor's Palace. So, and the Shizor's Bounty, they were all pullable, not in force. So that definitely helps Jared get a good first turn. Chris is only activating, 6 this turn, his first turn. So going to be hard to put a first turn Luke isn't going to do much if he goes after Shizor because of the bounty. So, yeah, here comes HITCO and what Chris Kelly wants to do here. His start, instead of Walkling, he goes with the Farm Puller, though. So that's definitely a little bit different than like the HITCO that I have built. I go with Walkling, so. But I've also noticed that in my HITCO, I'm sometimes hurting for generation, so having the farm could be advantageous, especially if you don't think anybody is going to play entanglements or a Tatooine-based deck that might not want to deal with having the farm out. But there's the hut, so that's a good pull from Chris. Gets his hut out. We'll see if he also pulls the farm. Yep, pulls the farm also. So there's the moisture farm. He's going to deploy a Yoda. The new Yoda Mofo V. So that gets you an extra icon as well. And has the opening hand escape pod, so gets the Hujix. That's always nice having the opening hand, either Hujix or puller for it. So basically, you know that you're set up in case of a beatdown, and also your opponent knows it too. So you know, it definitely will impact the way that they decide to attack you. If they think that you might not have a Hujix, they might over deploy and try to get you to lose a lot more force. But knowing you have a Hujix in your hand, it definitely telegraphs all right, well, you can beat me down all you want, but I'm just going to lose whoever's there in one card, so. So yeah, guys, thanks again for joining me this morning. Just after 8 o'clock here in the Mountain Time Zone, so getting going early today and crown ourselves a 2020 champ. Definitely a pretty strong top 8. Some of the usual suspects like Joe Olsen, Chris Kelly, Justin Desai, Bastion. But then you got guys like Jared, guys like Fernando, and stuff like that. So pretty cool top 8 this year. Congrats to everybody who even made it to yesterday. Getting through that first day with all the that lag and everything, with 100 players playing at the same time, give or take, was not easy. So, all right. So Jared pings one with his objective. Chris Kelly top stack a solo. Not the card you want to see go off the top early, but maybe a Jedi Lev or something can get Master Solo back. Cad Bane stacking up. Okay, so looks like Jared's going to put Cad Bane out and draw some force. Cad Bane's pretty good against Jedi-based deck like HITCO, so he does the, if with your other bounty hunter, cancel the immunity attrition to a Jedi. He's not currently with another bounty hunter, though, so he won't be able to do that just yet, but could react with like a Greedo or something, and then all of a sudden that text is turned on, as well as paying +1 for weapons and all that good stuff. So I might be, if Jared saves a decent amount of force, I might be looking for the Greedo react if you attack that palace site. One thing we haven't seen from Jared yet is an Emperor. Usually Emperor comes out pretty early for AOBS, but okay, Jared's going to draw up to 13, and then he'll be able to activate another one on Chris's turn for the Greedo react. So 13 is definitely a weird number to draw to sometimes, but if he was possibly looking for a very specific card, and AOBS, he knows exactly where it is, so he knew he needed to draw 2 cards to get to it, so that's my guess there. Thanks, Chantal. Thanks for joining me this morning, guys. If anybody is sitting at home and wants to join me for this commentary, just let me know. I'll plug you in. Okay, so we've got a Rey with lightsaber. 5 force. We'll see if Jared does the Shizor's bounty on her. Chris does still have enough to deploy a Luke, so I think that's probably why you put the Rey out first, to see if you can bait out that bounty. And Jared does the bounty. He also didn't activate with Wipe Them Out yet, so. um, but playing one for the bounty makes it so you can't react with Greedo, right? Because Greedo costs 2 to react. So, that's kind of one thing I was thinking might be going on, but. Turn my mic up a little bit since I am talking kind of softly. And he's going to move Yoda over in front, flip. Okay, so still no Luke from this HITCO deck, and I mean, like I said, Chris does have the HITCOs, but Yoda and Rey against this stack plus whatever Jared's going to be able to throw down. Interesting. Interesting there from Chris. Put some "Come Here, You Big Coward" out to prevent the retrieval from the HITCO objective flip side. Chris Kelly's going to draw up. Jared's going to play a masterful move. Gets a Gick. So they both have their Hujix and Gick. Where's my phone beeping? Oh, okay. Oh shit, I didn't change the name of my stream, did I? Okay, let me go do that. It's always one thing I always forget to do, is to go in and change the name of my channel, or not the channel, the name of the stream. Edit stream info, there it is. Okay, should be updated. Alright. Jared pulls another palace site. It's the uplink station. Sewer might be activated. There's the Emperor, and that flips the HITCO back. And he's going to move out of the way. Okay. So rather than attacking that site with Yoda and Rey, he just moves over, consolidates his guys in a big stack at the uplink station. So, alright. So we'll be at drain -1 because Chewie, Dash, or Leia are not present. Thanks everybody for joining me. We are just getting going here for Worlds Day 3, basically. Top 8. Chris Kelly's on his 3rd turn. Haven't seen too much action yet, really just putting pressure here or there and then kind of moving away from it. So, still haven't seen a Luke yet out of the HITCO deck, which is definitely Maybe Chris wanted to get the Shizor's bounty flushed out before he decided to attack with Luke. Maybe this is the turn he goes down with Luke, Clash of Sabers, and stuff like that. We'll see. I feel like HITCO isn't a deck that wants to drain race, so but now he's got Luke out to the palace, get the lightsaber. Jared, I'm awake. It's just pretty early here. It's 8:22 a.m. And I'm talking kind of quiet because, like I said, my wife is still sleeping, so do apologize for that, but I think everybody can still hear me and all that good stuff, so. And if anybody out there wants to join me, do a two-man booth, we certainly could. Just let me know. Alright, so Chris gets the lightsaber out, gets Luke out, and just gonna draw some cards. So he already has 12 in hand, still has 7 in force pile though, so. Okay, and then Chris also pulls the Monarch Shield. If anybody watched the game that I streamed of Jared's in the Heat phase, he did play Monarch in this AOBS deck, and he was playing against Gornal Bob from Team High Ground, and Monarch was a big part of that game, so, you know, it's definitely known that he could possibly do a Monarch, so that might be Chris, just sort of knowing that and wanting to get ahead of it, so. It's a newer shield here, the Clumsy and Stupid Shield. If Monarch just revealed your hand, may place up to 2 cards from your hand in your use pile. So basically you can get some of your cards that would go lost if they do a lost Monarch, and get them to go to used. So. Oh, okay. I didn't see that. Thanks, Ryan, for saying that. Apparently yesterday, he got Monarched yesterday in this same matchup. So, Chris definitely learning from his mistakes there. So, I didn't get a chance to watch most of yesterday. I was at work for most of the day. So, thanks, Ryan, for pointing that out. Alright, so now, after Jared drained there, did move Prophecy, so that'll be a drain 2, and also give each player another icon to activate off of. Yeah, good old Monarch and Grimtash, still ruining games. Ruining games of Star Wars since 1996. So, maybe Chris Kelly should play a Grimtash, because Jared's got 18 cards in his hand. So right now they're just sort of stacking and staring at each other. I was expecting this matchup to be a little more battly, but I don't have a ton of experience with HITCO. I've usually been more of a TRM guy myself, but I feel like those decks don't love to get in drain races because ooh, Leia Rebel Princess, there you go. That's an interesting card. You know, there's so many different versions of Leia these days. General Leia, you know, there's Leia, one who does the Senate stuff. I really like her because she's really good she was really good in the ISB meta, but maybe maybe now Leia Rebel Princess is a pretty good call because Scum decks, AOBS, and her ability to cancel Force Drains twice per game by placing a card from Lost on top of Reserve deck. I mean, Reflections 3, y'all know out there, Reflections 3 was interesting in terms of the power level of the cards, so still crazy though that, like, even though that Leia is insane, we still have other Leias that see way more play. Ooh, okay. Obi-Wan. EPP Obi. And that was, what card was that got deployed on Leia? Leia Valderan, okay. So that card doesn't get played all that often, but it's definitely interesting. Goes on Leia, opponent may not cancel or reduce Force Drains at same battleground. If on Leia, she's power +2, and once per battle may cancel. So it kind of turns any Leia into Jedi Pack Leia V, because she did that same interaction where she canceled leader's game text. Okay, so we had a barrier and then a barrier canceller. Inconsequential. Those barriers are just inconsequential to Obi-Wan. He does not give a single F about those barriers. But still, he's one dude and he's facing down 4 characters, so you gotta think Chris has got some other backup where he's just gonna move some dudes over. U3PO did get deployed, so he's gonna want to deal with that. But does Leia Valderan get around U3PO? May not cancel or reduce Force Drains. I don't know exactly what the wording on Undercover Spies is. Do they cancel the Force Drain, or do they just prevent you from initiating it? I feel like Leia Valderan should get around that, because otherwise why would you play it? There's not a lot of other things that really, there's Image of the Dark Lord and, other things that cancel or reduce Force Drains, but ROP subjective, but I feel like you wouldn't want to. I mean, Undercover Spies are by far the most popular way to get around Force Drains. So, yeah, if anybody's watching, does Leia Valderan get around U3PO? I'm pretty sure it does, but I don't know 100%. Okay, so he just moves Ovi back over. This game has been weird so far. Am I alone in that? I mean, why would you... I guess you had to cancel the barrier so we could move. But, yeah. This is weird. Okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, when I was starting to think about it, I was like, well, why else would you play it unless you could get around your 3PO? But the Undercover Spies don't cancel the drain. They just prevent you from initiating the Force Drain. So, Leia Valderan is good for ISB, Image of the Dark Lord, Strategic Reserves, the things that... Yeah, but, I'm sure he's got numerous ways to deal with Undercover Spies, be them Cornhorn, sorry about the mess, the new Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi combo card, etc. Jared plays a No Escape to get his barrier back, now knowing that Kelly has played a barrier canceller and it's not in his hand anymore. He's gonna get the sewer out also. I wonder if Chris Kelly runs like a Nabram or something in this deck. Those of you guys who maybe watched some of this yesterday might have some insider info. I haven't looked at much of the deck lists or anything like that. I got home yesterday and wasn't feeling fantastic, so I didn't do a lot Star Wars related, except for play some squadrons with Ming and Lenny and stuff, but Also, if you guys haven't played Star Wars Squadrons, you should try it out. It's pretty fun. They just added the B-wing and the TIE Defender. The B-wing is pretty crazy, and we get on our headsets and we play Squadrons together. So it's definitely a lot of fun. Y'all should get on that. It's all cross-platform too. So like I have PC and I can play with Ming and Lenny, and they're on PlayStation, Xbox, and stuff. So lots of fun. Jango Fett. Alright, so Jango Fett comes down, and now it's Chris's turn. I mean, like, there's barely been any force strain. I think there's been one force strain from Darkseid. Um, and some pinging when he didn't have Luke out yet. But, like, one or two pings. Alright, so Chris Kelly's got 12 cards in hand, 17 force, 18 force, after using Like My Father. So Chris Kelly is shield busted. All of those were played with the starting effect. And Jared might be also. I'm sure they both run defensive shield adders, but I think all of those four were played with the starting effect. Alright, there's the Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi to break the cover of U3PO, and I imagine he will steal the U3PO so it cannot be redeployed as easily. Yeah, so he steals, and so now the owner of that card is Chris Kelly. Stolen. And you pretty much always want to do that, because that way they can't deploy it again. A lot of times you'll see decks run more than one copy, or they can try to retrieve it. Sounds like my wife is awake now, so I can raise my voice to a more reasonable volume. Good morning. Everybody said I sounded like I was doing golf commentary. I was trying to be quiet for you. So he moves U3PO over during his move phase. Yeah, they're just stacking up and staring at each other. This is not the most interesting game to watch so far. No battles, one force drain so far. Chris just cycles his skate pod. Jared has 21 cards in hand. That is insane. And he only has 19 in life force. He has less in life force than he has in hand. That's pretty weird. And now he activates it all. I imagine he's going to go to space this turn. That's literally like the only thing I could think that you'd activate all this and have all this. Like, he wants to go to space with, like, the Fist and Guri and whatever. I mean, I don't know, you need to go too heavy in space against HITCO. But, you know, these guys have played against each other, apparently the same matchup yesterday. So, yeah, Leia's there anyway, but he needs to get like a Forlom or a P59 or Jasper if he's running him. Jared does a force push, so it gets gets one card out of his hand. But he still has 20 cards in hand. It's insane. Not something you usually see. breakfast. Just like I predicted. Every once in a while I get something right. Oh, see, that's a character that you maybe could have used against Leia, is Mithrondo, even though he's not any good, really on the ground. But um, he's an Imperial, so, like, he gets around Leia. Bosk as well, as a pilot. And I guess you can always shuttle these dudes down later if you need them. But, and, like, maybe you guys saw yesterday if Chris was running decent space, but most HITCOs don't run more than just a ship or two, and maybe they'll try to stack it with some dudes. But he already lost Solo, which is probably one of the better pilots he has. Erica, undercover spy. So yeah, like all day 3 events that we normally do, this is a differential match play. So these two guys will play 2 games against each other, both light side and dark side. And the highest differential after the 2 games is the winner. So this one, yeah, I'm sure these guys both know this matchup and how it's supposed to go out, but um, Jared's already down to just 19 in Life Force, and he's put a few more cards out than Chris has for sure. Chris has 27 in his Life Force, and they both have large number of cards in hand. So I don't like to count hand cards as Life Force because they're not always able to get back into Life Force. So Padme to the stacked up site. Okay, so Jared uses Mithrondo, so if he moves over there, then they'll have to lose a force. I'll pause my breakfast. So he is going to do the Odinist lore, and he's going to move Luke, Yoda, Padme, not to the uplink, but to the sewer. So then he'll have 2 battlegrounds, and he'll be able to get away from the undercover spy. And he'll still have Obi, Rey, and Leia at the palace. So here comes a sense to cancel. This is one of the bigger plays that's happened in this game so far, so I had to pause my breakfast. So does succeed, cancels the Odin. Jared does have to lose 2 because of the defensive shield. Do or do not is out. Sense is lost, as well as the Odin Nestler. Okay, So that was probably pretty big for Jared because he didn't want to get Luke and Yoda and Padme sort of separated out from that stack. Um, then he would have to sort of decide how he wanted to attack each site. So, big play from Jared. Don't blame Chris Kelly for trying that move at all. Um, but not having an answer for Erica this turn, pretty annoying from Chris Kelly's perspective, I would guess. All right, and that's the end of Chris's turn. And we'll get over to Jared's 7th turn. Okay, and then Adam says here in the chat that Chris did have HCF virtual day 1 and 2. So HCF isn't really much to deal with against the Fist, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so now we've got Dr. Afra being deployed to the JCC. She uses her game text to get a droid from Lost Pile, put it on top, take it into hand, and that droid is P-59. And she also goes with Wham Zessel, or sorry, Zam Wessel. I always say that card wrong. And he goes to the sewer, or she goes to the sewer, better said. I don't know why I always say that card backwards. And now he's shadows pinging as well. So he's got 3 battlegrounds, the JCC, and he's doing a shadows ping. So I think that Odin was pretty big, or canceling the Odin was pretty big. Because I was wondering earlier if Chris Kelly had a Nabram, and this is, that's sort of along the same lines, without as many cancelers and whatever. But Sense is still a canceller. Last I checked. Yeah, alright. So we know each player has a Gik and a Hujix. So, I mean, honestly, Jared's not looking too bad here. If he wants to get rid of the JCC drain, he has to attack that. If he wants to get rid of Zam Wessel, hey, I said it right. He has to attack her. So he's not going to be able to probably clear both of those sites in one turn. Yeah, this looks kind of tough for Chris. He wants to get Erica killed so he can start draining there, presumably. There's a Help Me Obi-Wan Kenobi combo to break the cover of Arica. Then he actually might be able to beat up on Arica. That's a good point. Yeah, I wonder what he has left to fight with. Lando, Ahsoka, Hera, Chewie. We know Solo's in the Lost Pile. That was like the first thing he top decked. Yeah, because you can't play Anakin in this deck, right? Yeah, you can't play Anakin in HITCO. But you can play Jedi Ahsoka, not EPP Ahsoka. Yeah, okay, so... Oh, he just moves. He didn't even... I don't know, does that make sense? Not even just fight the Erica to get rid of the Hujix? Like, or the Gik? Huh. I'm mean, I know I'm not as good a player as Chris Kelly, but I don't know. So he moves Ray over to the. Is he gonna try to like take the long way to the JCC? This feels like a bad WAP deck if that's what he's trying to do. He already oh wait, he used the oh, help me Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's in the move phase. Okay. Okay. So he moves over, clashes Django. Okay, you're right. During the move phase. My bad. That card's new. I'm still learning it. Thanks, Snakes. You can play Anakin Skywalker. I know, Jared. You just can't play Anakin Skywalker Padawan Learner. How about that? You guys are freaking trolling me this morning, aren't you? I just woke up like an hour ago. So we moved Obi over, clashed Django, and then didn't move anybody else over. So Obi is just staring down against Shizor, Vigo, Cad Bane, and Emperor. But Chris has the Hujix, so it's fine. But I mean, Chris is going to get railed for drains this turn. He's going to get 3 at the JCC, 1 at the sewer, and 1 at the system. So that's 5, and then he's going to get a Shadows Ping for 6. And those are all free from Jared. So I don't know. Hey, thanks. Glad to do it. I haven't been as active the last few months in terms of my streaming and volunteering and stuff, so I definitely wanted to try to make a case to get on here this morning and cover the top 8, because you know those are always the real fun ones. Is those top 8s. You know, we're gonna crown ourselves a world champion today. Like 2020, man, it's almost over, but we still need to see who the world champ is gonna be. Do you think it's gonna be a repeat? Do you think Bastion's gonna win again? Do you think Justin's gonna win again? Maybe someone like Joe Olsen, who's won everything else except for Worlds. Maybe he'll get one of those. Maybe Chris Kelly. Maybe, Jared, who's been having a really good last, year and a half, 2 years. I feel like I didn't even really know who Jared was 2 or 3 years ago, and now he's pretty consistently making OCS tops, and now he's in the World's top 8, and all that. So Jared's definitely done really well, and we have this guy from Europe, Fernando, in the top 8, who literally picked this game up 4 months ago, apparently, is what he was saying in Slack chat this morning. He played in July, was his first game. So now he's in the top 8 at Worlds. And that seems a little unfair to players like me, who've been playing for 20 years, and have never done a Worlds top 8. But, hey man, if you can do it, all the props to you. Alright, so Jared, 16 cards in hand, 13 life force. So I mean, he's still down 7 in life force, but he seems to have... Okay, so he's setting him up for the Run Luke run. That definitely seems like that could be a thing. But I mean, even if you just move Luke over into this pile of characters, even though Django is clashed, I don't know, man. So yeah, you run Luke run, then you have 12 power to their 18 or something, and alright, whatever, we'll see how that goes. Run Luke run. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Sorry guys, I didn't realize that was quite in the way like that. Okay, that should not be as much in the way now. Plays perimeter scan to get ultimatum out. Chris doesn't have 3 battlegrounds, so maybe he's planning on doing that. There's a lot of 4 strains. Like I said, it was going to be a total of 3, 4, 5, and a ping. So, like 6 damage that Chris is going to have to take. Usually can't take more than 2 turns of 6 force to the face, so. That site's a drain +1 for Chris, but I mean, he's have to pay for all these drains. Timers for both players look at about half an hour. Here comes Aura Singh with Blaster Rifle. She's pretty good. Draws an extra weapon destiny against Jedi. Alright, so Jerry doesn't battle. He just moves Erica over in front of the Obi-Wan. I guess a little respect for that run Luke run possibility. I think it would have been fine, potentially, but maybe that's just me. Alright, so Jared plays a defensive shield puller and pulls resistance. Well, there you go, we got an Alter V to cancel Leia of Alderaan. That's gonna work. So now Leia of Alderaan is canceled. So now he can cancel or reduce 4 strains at that site, and also get rid of the other text, the power +2, and once per battle may cancel the game text of opponent's leader of ability less than 4. I don't know how many leaders of ability less than 4. I mean, I guess Shizor is probably a leader of ability less than 4, but not any of these other dinguses. So oh yeah, 100%. Dark likes this board state for sure. I mean, he's got drains at 3 different locations where he's getting 5 in drains for free, and he can do a ping because he's got 3 battlegrounds. Chris uses the Prophecy of the Force to retrieve an Anakin Skywalker into hand. Excuse me. See, I haven't really checked out any of the other 3 games that are going on right now. We have 3 other matchups. Dan is doing one of them, Casey is doing one of them, and Taco Bill is doing the other one. So I think there was a multi-Twitch link going around on Twitter or other places like that. So hopefully you guys are able to check out some of those other matchups as well, and we'll see what's going on today. So we'll see if Jared wants to draw any more cards. It does not. I mean, he has less life force than he has cards in hand, so he's got to be moderately careful about what he has down. All right, so I mean, if you're Chris Kelly this turn, you've got to get him off either the JCC or at the very least the sewer. If you get him off the sewer, then you stop a drain of 1 and the Shadows Ping, so that's 2 damage you save. If you just get him off of the JCC, then you save 3 damage. So, I can see merits. Either getting rid of the sewer is going to be a lot easier, but, you know. Okay, so Chris Kelly's going to drain 2 at the Palace. Could be a drain of 3, but Ultimatum Resistance is set up, so it doesn't really matter. Oy, oy, oy. Sorry, just getting a little chilly. It snowed here yesterday, so I'm right by our back door of our apartment, so it's a little chilly. That's why I wear my winter hat most of the time when you see me on stream in the winter. It's so cold. Alright, so cancel the drain with a Tarkin's Order. That did not get grabbed. Okay. Nothing has been grabbed in this game, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, they haven't battled. So, he's going to sorry about the mess on Emperor. I'm guessing Chris has this tracked and it should be fine. Oh, maybe not, because there's a 1. But I mean, you can draw Luke for the second one. There it is. So. Oh no, yeah, that's going to be bad. Whew. And then Jared has 2 grabbers and could have grabbed that, sorry. I mean, I guess it's a lost, but retrieval is a thing, and I mean, solo is also already lost, so maybe you're right there. Alright, so sorry about the mess on the Emperor, not good. I thought Chris would have for sure had that tracked since he had just 3 in reserve. Now he only has 1 in reserve, so he couldn't even fire Chewie's Bowcaster here, even though he puts Chewie to the JCC. I imagine he'll just block that drain with Chewie and Hoojix. And then probably move Obi over in front of the sewer drain. Good one, Ryan. No, I just was chilly, but yeah. I saw the other game I did with Jared's deck last weekend was the WAP versus AOBS, which, like, WAP usually causes all sorts of battles because you can't just let them exist there, you know. But yeah, there was no battles in that game either, or hardly any battles, at least till it was like, already decided. So he does move Leia in front of that stack, which causes the Thrawn trap to go off. Loses a AJR from used. So he does put Chewie in front of the P59 and the Afra. And we'll see if he moves Obi in front of Zam Wessel. Maybe he doesn't feel like he has to do that anymore because he's got the JCC drain blocked. Yeah, Rey is taking the long way to the JCC. You need some of those Ascension guns. Alright, so Yoda, Leia, and Obi are in front of the big stack. I mean, that stack is Shizor, Vigo V, Cad Bane, Emperor Palpatine, Jango Fett, Araka, and Aurra Sing. So that's like ridiculous amount of. I mean, it's 30 power to 11. In terms of timers, we've got 25 for Jared and 28 for Chris, so no issues with timers. So yeah, we've got this game going on right now, as well as the 3 others. I don't know what those statuses are. It was Bastion, Justin, and Joe Olson who were and then Jared, who were the top 4. And then the other 4 got randomly paired. So that way, when you went to bed last night, you didn't know who you were playing. So that way you couldn't just tech your decks against them, because they had to submit decks this morning. So you submitted your deck before you knew who you were going to play. Because, if you knew you were playing against Chris Kelly, you would just go crazy against HITCO or whatever. This is a much more fun way of doing it. That way we don't just lead to... I know there's been top 8s where, like, 2 teammates, 3 teammates will basically just go all in against one of the other players' decks and make sure that at least one of them gets to the finals and stuff like that. So this way of doing things is much preferred, I think. Much more fair. Alright, so drains now are at 1 and 1 for Jared, and then a ping of 1. So Chris did get the 6 damage down to 3, so he was able to cut the damage down in half. But in order to do that, he had to basically sacrifice a Chewbacca and a Hujix, I'm assuming, to get to that point. So, well, he might not actually have to Hujix, because P59 doesn't make you lose your forfeit, so. Alright, and then also during Jared's turn, he's going to use the Thrawn trap on the uplink station, because he's expecting still this run Luke run. And I don't necessarily blame him for that, because the board state is really well set up for a run Luke run. And it has been for a couple turns now. Of course, run Luke run is a card that moves Luke over to a battle that's just initiated at a related site. And then he's power plus something during that battle and things like that. So yeah, there's the run Luke run. So now we can actually look at the text. Move Luke as a regular move using land speed for free to a battle just initiated in an adjacent site. Luke is power plus 2 unless Vader is present. No, obviously AOBS does not play Vader because they cannot. Alright, so there's there's the first battle of the game. Like I said, it's all those characters, plus we added a 4-LOM non-V. 4-LOM non-V does cancel a game text, so that is pretty good. Chris does have to lose a force for the Thrawn trap to move the Kelly, or move the Luke, so. He's going to blank Obi-Wan, so that takes away a saber. So yeah, and there's also now there's three characters there that stop Leia's game text from working. So Chris is going to play another clash. He'll clash Aura Singh. So that takes away a weapon. So they basically each took away a weapon from the other player, with the Obi-Wan being taken out, and then the Aura Singh. That also removes 4 power. And 5 forfeit. And hidden weapons, and that gets canceled with Hear Me Baby Hold Together. Still surprised that Jared didn't just grab that card and put it on something special planned for them. It's pretty late in this game, and that would just take away a 5 and another force from Chris Kelly. But I mean, Chris is only going to have 3 cards in hand, and it's going to be Jared's turn, or sorry, his turn next. So that's a good call too, Ryan. Put 4-LOM down, blank Chewie, battle there. Then you don't lose any characters. But it also might sort of strand a character, like at the JCC. It's a lot of characters, and he needs droids to work around Leia a little bit. But I think it also could have been a pretty good call there. Okay, so whose action is it? It's probably Chris's action, right? So he still has 1 lightsaber he can swing. Luke's lightsaber. Probably go for the Emperor again. Yeah. Swings at the Emperor Palpatine. Man, he is not having good luck with his draws on his weapons. Yeah. So he would have hit almost anybody else at that site except for Arca or Emperor Palpatine. Misses the Emperor swing. Yeah, this is not going well for Chris. Yeah, because if he had a blaster proficiency plus a clash he did have, he could have maybe actually gotten around. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to ban this person. Sorry, I just saw a guy in my chat that's posting spam. I banned him, so he shouldn't be able to do that anymore, or blocked him. Oh God, what happened? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh God. Sorry, something really weird happened on my browser. Oh, that's what it was. That thing just popped up. So there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to ban that guy who was spamming our chat, and it just changed my screen. It's fixed, Ming. It's fixed. I don't think anything happened. All after he missed, he played Anakin and canceled Jango Fett's game text, and then did Emperor Palpatine for a Force Lightning. Jared draws a 5 for Battle Destiny. Chris draws a 3, which is a 4 because of Luke. So 33-28, dark side wins. Dark side loses a Vigo. Light side loses Yoda, I would guess? Or Obi-Wan? Yeah. Yoda or Obi-Wan are the two that I would lose. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. That was definitely... I was just trying to ban that guy, and I think I accidentally clicked on his link instead. And Jared's going to battle against Chewie. So if you shoot Chewie, then he loses 2 force from P59, but then he draws Destiny. So I think you just draw. I don't think you shoot. No, I guess he can still kill one of your characters, so it's probably better just to... No, he passed the action. Oh, there's some high destinies for Chris. When he doesn't need them as badly, because he's shooting against a defense value 4 character, he draws a 12. Oh, that's gonna sting for Chris, because if you just draw that against the Emperor, this is a much different ball game. So now that P59's been hit, do you shoot back? No, you still don't shoot back, because he still doesn't draw Destiny, so you can still keep your Afra there. Yeah. Okay, so he actually just says in the chat that my screen is blocking. Ray coming next turn should probably just go for 2 damage, because he knows Ray is taking the long way to the JCC. And so he goes ahead and hits Chewie, causes the 2 force to get lost, which is a Ray with lightsaber off the top and a Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight off the top. And now Chewie gets Destiny because he's hit. So this site will clear. Potentially could even go well for Chris since P59 is forfeit 0. But I think with 11 and then the 4 forfeit from Afra? 3 forfeit from Afra. Yeah, it'll be alright. Yeah, this site's just going to clear. No any other extra battle damage or anything. Because Chewie still has his forfeit. Afra still has her forfeit. So, for Jared, though, like you said, Ray was coming next turn. But now, Ray, I mean, you can drain for 3 there. I guess it'll just be 2 because it's resistance. Yeah, I think he probably made the right play. What do you mean, Jared? You just said no. Explain yourself. So, Jared plays Warrior while naming Hear Me Baby Hold Together as an interrupt card title. He knows there's at least one of them in there. And Chris has to lose a force. So Chris is going to have 2 cards in hand to start his turn. He'll be able to force drain at 2 locations, causing a total of 4 if he wants to pay 6 to do that. Now she's going to stay there and keep draining. Yeah, that was definitely... I was wondering about the shot. Because if you didn't shoot, then Chewie dies with Afra still staying there. And you get 1 more drain. Even if Ray's still coming, you get 1 more drain. Oh, wait, no you don't, because it's your turn. So he moves Ray over, and yeah, you don't get any more drains. But then you still have to fight, and then, yeah, I don't know. I'm not the... I don't think I've ever really played Agents all that much, so definitely not my preferred dark side deck. You said no to the shoot, Jared? Yeah, I think you're right. I think between the 3 of us, I think we don't shoot. You save a character, because then you can just play roulette with, and go back and I don't know. I mean, this game is going to be close either way. So Chris Kelly's got 12 life force and 2 cards in hand. Jared's got 11 life force, but all has 11 cards in hand. So, and he's draining for free, whereas Chris Kelly has to pay for his drains. Now Jared's going to spread out his dudes a little bit, get the Emperor over with Sam Wessel, and now he's still got the Clashed Aura and the Forlom. So Aura can't battle, and Forlom can't be battled because he's just a droid. So like that's actually pretty. I mean, he covers up the drain, but Chris Kelly can't fight him there. So it's a pretty good setup there for Jared. So Chris activates it all. I imagine he'll just drain at the O2, the palace, or square. Is that what that site is called? The square? Yeah. Oh, so maybe he was also trying to do a little bit of a play with the game text on that site last turn. He was trying to hit the Emperor, turns off the Shadows ping, and then also if you control the square, then they can't deploy the Emperor. So obviously they can just put a character there and then put them out anyway, but makes it a little bit harder. I do have a prize to give away during my stream today. Last weekend I didn't give away a virtual set 13 pack that has foils and stuff in it. So I've got about 17 viewers right now. If we can get that to 20, then I will decide one of the 20 of you to get a pack. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, we actually have. It says we have 20 right now. Okay. Why does mine saying only say 17 when my actual list says more than that? That's weird. Okay. Sorry, I'll stop talking. About random shit. Plays Force Lightning against Obi-Wan. Just a used though. Oh, that's another spammer. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna choose a username at the end of this game to give that pack away to. It'll just be random. So if you're in this game at the end of it, you'll be eligible to win. And I'm just going to put all the names in a random hat sort of thing, and we'll pull it out. So if you want to get that virtual set 13 pack with a foil card in it that Dan has been giving away, just stay with this stream until the end of the first game, because then we'll have the second game also. Sound good? Tell everybody else who wants to. I think Spidey guy, Casey Ennis, is giving away donuts or something on his stream. Something about Hanukkah and donuts or something. So, yeah, that's what Casey's doing. Alright, so there comes it is 4 strain, so it was just the 1 drain in space and then the 1 ping. So I mean, Chris Kelly had done a pretty good job of covering up a lot of those 4 strains. He got rid of the JCC drain and everything, but he's still not, he's got 2 cards in hand and 9 in life force, whereas Jared's got 9 in hand and 10 in life force. So puts out the battle order first strike, which causes Chris to use 1 force every time he plays an interrupt during battle. So if he ends up being in a position where he's going to have to Hujix, which doesn't look likely at any of these locations, although maybe the palace, he's just got Leia and Padme there, so could go a little squiffy for them. I mean, you do get the extra destiny to attrition, but it doesn't really help with your power. But we're going to do the Obi-Wan battle first. So Greedo's going to make it so he has to pay 1 to fire that lightsaber also. So that's sort of the battle order first strike and the Greedo sort of combine on top of each other. If he wants to swing, then he won't be able to play any interrupts. Won't be able to Hujix in potentially the other battle at the Shizor's Palace site. So yeah, Jared's playing this one really well. It's going to be close, so it's still going to be interesting to see how this next game between these two goes. But I think Jared will win this one, but maybe only by like 8 or 6 or something. It'll definitely be pretty close. Timers are starting to become slightly an issue. 14 for Jared, but over 20 for Chris. So Chris does decide to swing, and he's going to go for the Emperor. I believe this is the 3rd time he's tried to shoot the Emperor. And he's gotten 7 once, 5 once, but he knew where those 2 6s were this time, so the Emperor is finally hit, guys. But he plays the sacrifice to prevent his forfeit being used at all, so still gets the 9 forfeit on the Emperor, so losing him by anyway will cover any sort of attrition that Chris will be able to achieve here. So sacrifice, Lana Dobreed, good card there. Jared draws a 6, gets his power up to 17. So I mean, Chris is going to lose this battle by 9, which I think is 1 less than what Obi forfeits for. Yeah, So it'll be Obi-Wan and a force. So Chris has 2 cards in hand. We know one is a HITCO. We don't know what the other one is. Oh, he just lost the HITCO from hand. Probably because, yeah, in this battle he wouldn't be able to play it. Because battle order for strike and paying 1 to swing last battle. Adds a destiny to attrition. But yeah, he's still down by 14 power here. And then Jared draws a 5. And Chris draws a 4. And then we'll see what his attrition draw is. This one might not be good. I think it's the Ahsoka. So Jared's got 5 attrition, but Chris has 15 battle damage. 7, 7. Okay, so that site will clear. If he, yeah, pretty much that site will clear. Chris does get flipped because he lost to Erica. So Chris still has 8 battle damage to satisfy. Can lose the U3PO. He's not thinking about losing. Yeah, he's got to lose Leia. He only has 9 life force. If he lost 5 there, it would basically just be over. Now Chris can't drain at the square because of coward. Moves the RSing over now that Clash has expired. Excuse me. Gets that Voyeur. Like, Chris hasn't been able to grab the Voyeur either time that Jared's played it. Chris loses Ahsoka Tano from the use pile to the Voyeur. He's got 8 life force, 1 in hand, and it's the start of his turn. Yeah, you can drain at the uplink for 2. Won't be able to drain at the palace. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I don't see a path to victory for Chris, but I do see paths to keeping it pretty close. Okay, that was a little unexpected. Lando by himself. He gets barriered. Man. Goes ahead and grabs the barrier. Sure, why not? Basically causes him to lose a force at this point. So he's got 1 force left. If he decides to move a character or do any other thing with that force, then he won't be able to pay the upkeep. But that might be sort of okay with him. Yeah, I guess, yeah, Zam and Greedo don't draw Destiny, do they? Because she draws if alone. And then Greedo's only ability 1, so yeah, you need 4 ability to draw Destiny. Okay, so yeah, he just pays the maintenance, covers the drain. And yeah, like you said, at least he's going to have to put something else there to even draw Destiny against Lando. Okay. So Chris Kelly gets drained at Coruscant, gets drained at Caesar's Palace. Total of 3 there. There'll be a Shadows. Oh no, Emperor's off the table, so no Shadows ping. Maybe Emperor will go down to like the farm or something. Thank you. Sorry, I gotta take my seizure medication. Riveting television, I know. Okay, so we put the Boba Fett bounty hunter down against Lando. Oh man, this could be the end of the game right here. You know, Chris Kelly's got no cards in hand, 5 in Life Force. Wasn't able to do the Lando trick with the retrieval, but Jared's drawing low here. He's drawing R. I guess the R is a 4 because they're quite a mercenary. So he draws a total of 9. So that's 23 to 6 plus 4, so 10 to 23. So he's down by 13. Lando covers 7. No Hoojiks. Good game. Pretty sure. Yeah. Because he's got Lando for 7, and then he still owes 6, and he's got 5 left. So I believe Jared will get this one by 11. If my math is correct. All right, so I imagine they'll take. I'll take a screenshot here so we get their lost piles. It's 44 to 16, but you guys all saw it as well. So we will bring the second game to you as well. I imagine they'll take a quick break. I'm gonna message Chris and see if I can get them. I need to take a few minutes just to get myself caught up on a thing or two, but nothing for too long. Alright, so yeah, Chris said he'll give us about 5 to 7 minutes. I just need to use the restroom and grab something to eat or whatever, so. We will be back here in just a minute or two, and we'll bring you the second game of this match. So we got Jared plus 11 in the first one, so Chris is going to have to win with Darkseid by 12 or more if he wants to advance. So We will be right back. Thanks, guys, for watching the stream. Oh, I have the pack to give away. Let's do that right now before. Um, Copy all these. Okay, I'll do it when I get back. So it'll be kind of the fun thing to start the stream with. BRB, you guys. Alright. I'm back. I just gotta tell Chris that we're ready. Um, Looks like we might be getting a co-host here, Mr. Stubbs. Alright, let me go back to the lobby. Alright, yeah, we got Stubbly joining me here. Give me just a sec, boys. I don't know how to copy paste anymore. There it is. Discord. Paste. Send friend request. I gotta turn my webcam off for now so I can use it with Discord. Come on, Stubbly. Stubbly just needs to accept my friend request, and he hasn't done it yet. So